Good morning, student. Today I'll discuss about causes of poverty. There are various causes of poverty in India. The first one is population explosion. Population explosion. Population explosion. Rapid growth of population, particularly among the poor, is responsible for problem of poverty in country. When total number of total national income is thinly spread over large population of India, then per capita income per capita income per capita income is bound to low. And what is per capita income? You know very well. Per capita income equals to national income by population. Because of rise in population, per capita income of the population has been consistently reducing, because per capita income is inversely proportion of population. Second reason is low level of economic growth. Low level of economic development, that is also one of the reason because of poverty exists in country. The Indian economy is largely underdeveloped underdeveloped due to relative backwardness of agriculture. Backwardness is agriculture and industrial sector. Industrial sector. Due to widespread bottleneck in infrastructure facilities and slow pace of development, nearly right now, around according to 2011 census, 21% of the population are below poverty line. Next causes of poverty is poor state of agriculture. Poor state of agriculture. Poor state of agriculture. How students, around 60% of the population of India is dependent on agriculture, and agriculture in India has continued to be backward. Continue to be backward due to primitive method. Why agriculture in India is backward? Because of primitive, means traditional methods of production or farming, and another reason is fragmented small land holdings. As a result, because of these problem, labor and land productivity continue to be low in India. Consequently, most of the farmers live in the state of poverty. So students, these are the three reasons here I discussed. First one is population, because of alarming consistently rise in population. India is now at the stage of population explosion. That is the main reason of poverty in India, because if you've seen that, and it is very obvious that when total national income thinly spread over large number of people, as per capita income is bound to low. Though national income has been consistently rising, but if we compare with the rise in population, population has been rise which are far greater than the national income of our country. So its impact of income is thinly spread over the population. So that's why India has largest concentration of poor people in the world. Second is low level of economic development, and third one is poor state of agriculture. Now, next reason is high illiteracy rate. As you know, student, according to 2011 census, 74% is the literacy rate of India. Still, 26% of the people are illiterate. And uh, if you calculate in terms of population, then you will see that large pool of population of our country is still illiterate, not able to read and write. Especially the weaker section of the society have to take up low paid job due to lack of knowledge. The scheduled caste especially, and scheduled tribes are not able to participate in the emerging employment opportunity. Why? Opportunity in different sector of the rural and urban economy, as they do not have the necessary knowledge and skills. So because they do not have necessary knowledge and skills, they are not get employment opportunity in different sectors, especially in scheduled caste and scheduled tribe in our country. That's why especially these section of the society, they are still live in a miserable condition because of high illiteracy among this population. So that is also a reason of poverty in India. Now, next reason is fifth reason is high level of unemployment. High level of unemployment. If you see, students, you will see that everything is connected to the one another. Like high because of high rising population, there is, because of this illiteracy exists, and because of illiteracy there is high level of unemployment in our country. The urban poor in India is largely the overflow of rural poor who migrate in urban areas in search of employment and livelihood. Industrialization has not been able to absorb all these people. Most of the urban poor are either unemployed or temporarily employed on as a casual workers. Mostly are casual workers, means they earn on the daily wages. Casual workers, and such casual workers, laborers, are among the most vulnerable in society, as they have limited skills. They already migrated from rural to urban area for search of job. And in the urban area there is industrialization, but industrialization is not able to provide employment to everyone. That's why they are forced to do casual work, and there is huge exploitation in this sector. This is informal sector, and they are forced to do casual work because they have limited skills with no job security. Casual workers, because they work in informal sector, that's why they have no work security, job security, no asset, and no surplus to sustain them. So poverty is closely related to nature of employment. We can say that poverty is directly related to nature of employment. That is the also main cause of poverty in India. Next is, that is also very much common, is especially in rural area, high level of indebtedness. High level of indebtedness, unemployment or underemployment, and the casual nature of work compels people to borrow money because of unemployment and underemployment, because of casual workers do not have job security. They are forced to borrow money, that too at higher interest rate. Such indebtedness is one of the significant factors of poverty. They used to borrow money from local money lenders and big sahukar in rural areas. They impose high rate of interest to money, and because of this, they are forced to pay a high amount of interest on borrowed money, and that is also reason for the poverty. So student, here I discuss what are the reason of poverty. First, fourth one is high illiteracy rate. According to I have written here, according to 2011 census, only 74% population are literate. Still 26% population are illiterate, especially if you talk in special in terms of society structure of society. So it is seen that illiteracy among scheduled caste and scheduled tribe is highest, and because of illiteracy they have limited job opportunity or employment opportunity because they do not have certain knowledge and skill. They according to the demand of the economy, they are not getting job of high pay where they can get good amount of money, so they are forced to live in miserable condition. Then in high level of unemployment, uh, you have seen that most of the rural areas workers migrate to urban area for search of job, and in urban area industrialization happen, but they are not able to absorb all the workers, that those who are migrated from rural to urban areas. They are to forced to do casual worker where there is no secure job security. They have limited skills. That way they these conditions force them to live in misery. Then high level of indebtedness, especially in rural areas. Unemployment or underemployment or casual nature of works compels people to borrow money, that too at highest interest rate. Such indebtedness is one of the significant factor of poverty. Next student, that is inequalities of income. I have written all the causes of poverty that I discussed, that is population, low level of economic development, poor state of agriculture, then high illiteracy rate, high level of unemployment, high level of indebtedness. Next one is inequality of income, that is also a reason of poverty. Unequal distribution of income, unequal distribution of income and assets has also led to persistent rise in poverty in India. Next, one more thing related to poverty, which are the cause of poverty, that is inflation. Inflation. And what is inflation? Inflation is consistent rise in price. The steep and continuous rise in price, continuous rise in price, particularly essential commodities, like essential commodities like food grains. These are the food grains, toothpaste, milk, uh, butter, bread. These are the basic items we use to consume every day. These are considered as essential commodities, and the continuous rise in price of essential commodities has added to miseries to poor. We can say that sharp rise in prices and negligible change in monetary income has decreased the purchasing power. Because of inflation, effect is decreased purchasing power of low income earners and resulted in low standard of living. So because of consistent rise in price of essential commodities, there is no negligible change in monetary income has decreased the purchasing power of low income earners and resulted low standard of living. So because of inflation, that also leads to the poverty. So student, discuss all the major causes of poverty in India, and all these factors have created two distinct group in the society. Okay, those who possess the means of production and earn good income, like rich section, and those who have only their labor or trade for survival, like poor section. Uh, Over the years, it is seen that the gap between rich and poor in India has widened, unfortunately. Poverty is a multi-dimensional challenges for India that needs to be addressed in a war footing. Now poverty is one of the biggest challenge in front of government, because uh, poverty, the whole society has divided. One society, in society, one section is very rich and one section is very poor. And students, it is that is the data of United Nation. In our country, 74% of the resources of our country, 74% of resources of our country is consumed by only 2% of the people. You can see the gap between rich and poor. Again, I repeat it. So 74% of the resources is controlled by resources have all the 74 resources to 2% of the population. Now student, government approach to remove poverty, that I'll discuss what are the approach, what are the measures taken by the government to remove poverty in India. As you know student, Indian constitution, you must constitution Indian constitution always stated that, it is written in Indian constitution, even in preamble, that social justice, and that is main objective of 5-year plan also. Social justice as the primary objective. Social justice is primary objective of the development strategies of the government. Yeah, when I discuss about 5-year plans, I discuss that in every 5-year plans and policy, maximum emphasis has been given to poverty alleviation, and government has stressed the need for various strategies for the poverty alleviation, for removing poverty in our country. The government approach to poverty, if you talk, what are the government approach? Government approach to poverty reduction has three dimensions. Three dimensions. What are these three dimensions? First is growth oriented approach. Growth oriented approach. Second is a poverty alleviation program. Poverty alleviation program. And third is minimum needs program. Needs program. These are the three dimensions. Means through these three approach, government try to reduce poverty in our country. These are the three approach. These approach are growth oriented approach, second is poverty alleviation program, and third one is minimum needs program. These are the three dimensions. In growth oriented approach, how government try to reduce poverty, and there are various programs which are exclusively run for poor people in our country, and various programs which are related to minimum needs, where government provide minimum necessity, minimal requirement of the poor people, that I will also discuss. So student, in my next video I will discuss how growth oriented approach is helpful in reducing poverty, and what is growth oriented approach, what are the programs, poverty alleviation program that is run by the government, and what are the minimum needs program that is run by the government.